Broncos. 57 yards. Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
He's going to let it go. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos back here with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and then even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. We get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
On first down, Simeon. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
To throw is Simeon. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you...
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. We focus our attention on the Green Bay defense as they head out. They are down on the scoreboard as we begin the second half and looking to avoid a bigger deficit.
And I could just hear the coaches now. I can hear the head coach. Guys, first 5 minutes.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Benny Fowler, 83 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico, Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams in Arizona, those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the second straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup.
Still second down.
Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. One back is Lacey. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Roughing the pass here, but Charles, that's a good call. But these days, you know, quarterbacks, they're very protective.
We know how protected they are, and if it's anything borderline, they're going to get the call. But as a defender, that's hard to swallow sometimes because there's so many of these bang-bang plays.
Throwing is Rodgers. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. A gain of 6 there on first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Rodgers now to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Gaining enough for the first down. And now they're in the hurry-up. Rodgers to throw. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a second down. Now Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now it's Rodgers. That's caught at the 2. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Back to throw, Rodgers. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. To throw is Rodgers. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's Simeon. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Demaryius Thomas, 59 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
And this does not end well, as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Rodgers now to throw. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Rodgers will try again on second down. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. And quickly, they get to the line. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.